Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of the Bible Minute. Glad you could join us. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 historical and archaeological discoveries that help validate the Bible. So without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Number 5.
The Pilate Inscription. In 1961, in an Italian-sponsored dig in Caesarea, archaeologists uncovered a stone that had Latin inscriptions on it that read, Pontius Pilate, Prefect of Judea. This we believe to be the very same Pilate from multiple accounts in the Bible. Just as we have here in one account, John 18 verse 29, it says, Pilate then went out unto them and said, What accusation bring ye against this man? So this discovery of the Pilate inscription only further proves the biblical value of history and the historical value of the Bible.
Number 4.
The David inscription. For many years, people believed David to have been a fictional character made up just for the story of the battle against the Philistines. This is because no archaeological finds had been discovered to prove his existence outside of the Bible. But in 1993 in Tel Dan, there was a man by the name of Abraham Byron who discovered a stone, and inscribed on it was a record of an Israelite king from the house of David. The Bible uses this very same designation in 1 Kings 12:19, which reads, So Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. So this inscription validates not only David's character as a true historical figure, but as a king.
Number 3.
Hezekiahs Tunnel. In 2 Chronicles chapter 32 verse 30, we read an account that says, This same Hezekiah also stopped the upper watercourse of Gihon and brought it straight down to the west side of the city of David. And Hezekiah prospered in all his works. Now, if a king had dug such a tunnel under Jerusalem, we should be able to find it. Well, that's exactly what we did. There is a massive tunnel that matches the biblical description. This, we believe, to be the very same tunnel talked about in 2 Chronicles 32 verse 30 underneath Jerusalem, just as the Bible said was there all along.
Number 2.
The Taylor Prism. In 1830, Robert Taylor uncovered a 15-inch tall clay cylinder shape with over 500 lines of written text on the cylinder, with text supposedly written by Sennacherib, king of Assyria, and it reads, As to Hezekiah the Jew, he did not submit to my yoke. I laid siege to 46 of his strong cities, walled forts, and to countless small villages in their vicinity, and conquered them by means of well-stamped earth rams and battering rams. Now, if such a siege had happened, it seems like we could find a biblical account of that. And here in 2 Chronicles 32, verse 1, it seems we have done just that. It reads, After these things and the establishment thereof, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came and entered into Judah, and encamped against the fenced cities, and thought to win them for himself. Just like Sennacherib's own inscriptions say, we find so in the Bible in 2 Chronicles 32 verse 1, only further validating the historical value of the Bible.
Number 1.
And last but not least, the Moabite stone, also known as the Mesha stele. Discovered in 1868, it's a black basalt stone that's about 3.5 foot tall by 2 foot wide. On this stone, Mesha, king of Moab, cut lines of text. Mesha mentions that Omri was king of Israel and oppressed Moab during many days. I will see my desire upon him and upon his house. The Mesha stone cites Omri as king of Israel, just as the Bible in 1 Kings 16, verse 21 through 28 states. Furthermore, it mentions Omri's son Ahab in close connection with the Moabites, just as does 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 4 through 6. And it reads, And Mesha king of Moab was a sheep master, and rendered unto the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams with the wool. But it came to pass when Ahab was dead, that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel, and King Jehoram went out of Samaria the same time and numbered all of Israel. In addition, both the Mesha stele and 2 Kings chapter 3 verse 4 through 6 listed Mesha as king of Moab, and it further mentions the tribe of Gad and Israel's God, Yahweh. So here we have, in just these 5 archaeological and historical discoveries, yet more proof and evidence of the historical accuracy of the Bible. And there are many more than just these 5 that I would love to get into and hope we get the chance to get into in future episodes. So as a side note, what's funny to me is it took people uncovering and discovering these things to believe they were true, and yet the Bible told us about them hundreds of years before these things were even discovered. And time again, history has failed to disprove the Bible and only succeeded in more further validating the accuracy of this book. And this book is the true inspired Word of God. And it says that God loved you enough that he gave his only begotten Son on the cross, who died and rose again, that whomsoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That concludes today's episode of the Bible Minute. If you guys enjoyed this episode, let me know with a like below. If you have any ideas or opinions for future episodes, let me know with a comment. I love hearing from you guys. I really appreciate you guys joining us, and that's it for the Bible Minute. God bless, and we're out.